Oh, there's a lot.
We're sampling for juvenile fish in the Mullet, the estuaries of Hawaii. It's a project that we have funded by Dingwall Johnson Sportfish Restoration. We sample across the state. One of the things that we found is there's an invasive mullet in our sampling, the Conda mullet. And that has turned up repeatedly in our samples across the islands.
Hold on to that mullet.
130, 137.
So we tried to understand a little bit better about why this organism is so successful in the Mullet. We found out the life history is unknown, so this is a research project that we've done on this Conda mullet to look at its life history. And what we learned is that it reproduces year-round, and that's in contrast to the ama, which reproduces only in the wintertime. And it actually reproduces when it gets to about 6 inches or so in length, which the ama, of course, is over a foot long before it starts to reproduce. And so it's getting there in half the time or more, and it's able to really outcompete with the ama. So we're very concerned about this.
Are you able to tell what environmental factors are causing that, or species factors are causing that? Or?
So we know that it's just the way the two species have evolved. So one is evolved to be slower growing, gets to a larger size before it's reproductive, and is a seasonal reproducer.
Oh, this is a Vicky.
Oh, yeah.
And the other is reproducing year-round, kind of very weedy. So kind of a weedy mullet versus a slower growing mullet. And of course the ama is the prize mullet for sport fish. And the Conda mullet doesn't get to a very large size.
There's a Vicky. 133. 157 Conda. 110.
So the ama has seasonal fisheries, and the Conda mullet you can take at any time of the year. And they're kind of color-coded. One will have a blue spot by its fin, dorsal fin, and the other has no spot at all.
And which is which?
The Conda mullet has the no spot, so it's in much larger scales. So
from a human consumption standpoint,
they're both
distinguishable?
Yeah, no, not really.
Indistinguishable.
Yeah. I mean, the one that grows much larger and it's more tasty, and in the sense that it's a larger fish, but certainly if you like mullet and fried up small and crispy, they're both really good.
100.
So the Mullet of Hawaii, that's really defined where the fresh and the salt water mix. And so across the islands, we have at least 180 different estuaries or mullet in the state. And that includes anywhere where a stream enters the ocean into a bay, or some of them are lagoonal estuaries. So we have a diversity of mullet in the state. Why that's important, they serve many different functions, but one of the chief ones that we look at they are the site for juvenile fish recruitment. So a juvenile fish will come out of the plankton and settle at the coastal environment as it's going through its larval development. And what they meet when they come into a mullet is usually sufficient food, as well as a chance to escape your predators. And a mullet is composed of multiple subhabitats within that area. So as you're going through really rapid growth, you've got to be able to find enough food, and you also have to be able to escape your predators. And that's what the estuary gives juvenile fish. If they're functioning properly, they'll filter the water that comes down off the mountain during a rainstorm and filter that water before it goes onto the coral reef and dumps a lunch of sediment on there. So they actually as a filter for the system.
And do all the fish that are raised in mullet, do they ultimately go out to sea then? Is that
so? Some of them will and some of them won't. So that's an excellent question, because in the sense that the two Conda species, the Conda species and the ama, they will actually settle from the plankton, grow up as juveniles, and stay in the estuary as adults.
Yep, get a measuring board.
Other species like the hole may come in as a juvenile and then move on to an adult habitat on the coral reef. But it is all part of that, getting that message out there.
319.